and Home International, Bengaluru. He completed his Masters in Cybersecurity from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham in 2019 and started working in cybersecurity and blockchain technology. He worked with Ensurity Technologies Private Limited, Hyderabad, as a lead blockchain engineer around 1.5 years. Before joining Amrita Vishwavidyapitham as a research associate in January 2020. He is also the founder of Anu Public Charitable Trust, Mumbai, working towards education and environmental awareness. He has been training and teaching students through his Aksharam Training Academy. He is also the founder of NumChain Open Initiative Research Lab, working towards blockchain for social applications. His area of interest and hobby includes blogging, teaching, collections of coin, stamp, and a postcard, Tamil research, recycling, sustainable management, software testing, cybersecurity, and blockchain technology. He was awarded the Government Best Outgoing Students of the Batch 2007-11 by Kumarakoram College of Technology. He was also awarded Best Outgoing Students of the Department of IT, AICTE. To his credit, he has published 2 papers, namely Blockchain for the Internet of Vehicles and Blockchain-Based Waste Management. And now I would like to hand over the session to Ramguru Radhakrishnan. It's over to you, Ramguru Radhakrishnan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity and the introduction. So considering the bandwidth, I would like to turn off my video. So I'll switch on whenever there is some questions. Otherwise, I'll turn off my video. Hope that is fine. And let me share my screen. Is my screen visible? Can one of you confirm? Any one of you?
Is that it's visible?
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. So yeah, welcome once again. Hope you are enjoying this faculty development program. So I'll be handling today and tomorrow 2 more sessions. So accordingly, I have put across the points and my thoughts. So if at all there is any doubts, you can intervene then and there, maybe through voice. If you, I will address it later. If it is immediately, if someone wants to clarify something, or if someone would like to add something, feel free to add. So yeah, this is one quick just setting the platform. So yeah, so of course all of you would understand. From this person point of view, it is 6. From the other person point of view, it is 9. Both of them are correct. Only the perspective or the way in which they look differs, right? All of you would agree on that. So similarly, blockchain is 11 years old. A lot of people consider still it to be not that mature as such, except in few areas. So there are no big standards, or there are no clarity as such in a lot of areas in blockchain. So it is only the perspective or how you see or I see or others see. So in case if there are some difference in ideas, please feel free to ask questions so that you'll be able to understand why I put up some point. Okay. With that point, let us get into the session blockchain-based cryptocurrency. So I would like to explain certain things, though in the previous sessions the people would have explained certain things. For setting in my context, I would like to explain certain things again. So it should be okay, I guess. So blockchain-based cryptocurrency, right? So that's what today's session. Blockchain-based cryptocurrency implementation was the word. I've removed the word implementation because it depends on. First, let us understand it. Then maybe we can decide should we implement it or not. Okay. Okay. So let's quickly go. So what is a blockchain? I'm not going to elaborate in that because by now you should have, all of you should have some idea because you have completed 1 day of this FDP and some of you might have been already working on it. But quickly, if you look at this, blockchain can be explained in two different ways, right? One is blockchain as a data structure. Another is blockchain as a technology, right? Blockchain is nothing but, which is very similar to a linked list, right? You all of you know what is a linked list. I would request others to, if you're not talking, creating some noise. So kindly mute your mic if you're not talking, please. Others, can you please mute your mic? That would be appreciable. Yes. So blockchain is nothing but a data structure that is very much similar to a linked list. All of you know what is a linked list. It is a linear data structure where there are a list which contains the data, and each of these lists is linked by a memory pointer, right? So this is the data 10, and the next data is 15, which is linked by a memory pointer. So 4900 is nothing but the address, right? So I think this all of you know what is a linked list. So blockchain is nothing but a similar data structure where there is a data and each data is stored in form of a block, and each of these blocks are linked cryptographically. That's the only major difference. Linked list, it is connected through a memory pointer, whereas in blockchain each block is connected by a cryptographic primitive, which is nothing but a cryptographic hash value, right? So this is for an example I have given. There is nothing, no hash algorithm like this. This is for your understanding purpose. So in case if you assume for this particular block, this is going to be the hash, you can see that is available as a content in the next block. Similarly, for this block too, if this is the hash, this is available as a content here. So this is creating a linkage between one block and the other block. So this is one way of looking. Blockchain as a data structure, which is each block connected cryptographically to form a chain. That is why we call that as a blockchain. So that is one way of looking. Second, blockchain as a technology, the complete system. You have a full the data structure that is available in each of the computer, but there are so many other things that also makes this technology work. So if you look at it from that perspective, blockchain technology is nothing but a decentralized computation and a distributed ledger, right? The current form of internet or the current form of most of the system which we are working are all centralized, right? The data is stored centrally. The computation is done by a central system, though there are backup servers and though there are mirror of servers that is available. Ideally, one computer serves us, right? It is not a group of computers. It is one computer, either for computation or for serving the data. So blockchain is breaking that. It is making the data available to all the nodes, which is distributed, and the computation is done by a group of computers, which is decentralized. And this decentralized computation and distributed ledger platform, it is making the transactions that are part of this as immutable, which means you can only add a data into the blockchain. You cannot edit or delete it. Even the owner cannot do it. That's why people refer blockchain as append-only ledger. And this distributed and decentralized network, which is totally each system don't know who are the other participants. So there should be some trust enabling mechanism. There should be some mechanism in which the decision is arrived, and such decision is arrived through a mechanism called consensus, right? And mostly blockchain system in general are open and public. So that's what the definition is about. It's a decentralized computation and a distributed ledger platform to immutably store transactions in a verifiable manner. Anyone will be able to verify because the transaction is public and it is open to everyone. And no one can manipulate any data. That is why anyone can verify, and it is stored in an immutable manner. And of course, there should be multiple parties involved or multiple domains that should be involved. Okay, so this is quickly the definition which I normally use, which is in a lot way better than some definitions available in internet. And I think this all of you would know, so I'm skipping. What are the characteristics of a blockchain? Maybe the earlier sessions you would have added. So if you look at blockchain, already blockchain, there are history, but since we are looking into what is a cryptocurrency, I want you to know what is the position of the cryptocurrency based blockchain in the evolution of blockchain. So that is why I have brought in this point. So if you look at Bitcoin, or if you look at the blockchain as such, blockchain came into existence only because of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin came, or Bitcoin's Genesis block was first mined in January 3, 2009, which is almost 11 years old, right? So once Bitcoin came, people started understanding how it works. Then they found out the underlying data structure or technology is called blockchain, and they started using it for other purposes. That's how blockchain evolved. So cryptocurrency was the first application that was built on blockchain, or cryptocurrency is the application that gave the world this technology called blockchain. Okay. So blockchain 1.0 is nothing but the cryptocurrency based applications are only blockchain 1.0. The first generation of blockchain is nothing but cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Litecoin, there are so many such coins. So all those cryptocurrencies that are based on blockchain belongs to first generation of blockchain. Blockchain 2.0 is nothing but more than finance. On top of cryptocurrency, you should be able to develop some other applications. So such generations of blockchain were called blockchain 2.0. The one example we can talk is Ethereum blockchain. Blockchain 3.0 is, I no need any cryptocurrency, a blockchain or a distributed ledger for a consortium or for an enterprise where there is no need for cryptocurrency and there is some access restriction. There is some limitation in who can see and who can join. So such permission level of blockchain is belonging to blockchain 3.0. 4.0 and 5.0 are still not that clearly defined, but there are blockchains, certain applications claiming that they are 4.0, 5.0, but there are no clear definition or clarity which is 4.0, which is 5.0, but there are something that's available. So just to make you aware, I have brought in that, but there are no clear distinction as such available as on date. Next, these are the two types. We'll come back to this when it is necessary, but one is permissionless, the third one is permissioned. So the first two generations, 1.0 and 2.0, more or less belongs to permissionless blockchain, because the focus there was, it was only cryptocurrency, then they wanted some applications on top of it. So that was the only motto. But permissioned came because the companies don't want their private data or their trade secrets or their trade mechanisms or the method of trading or the business logic to be publicly available. So they don't wanted the traditional open and public blockchain system. So they wanted a closed blockchain system, which gave rise to permissioned blockchain, which is hyperledger level of applications, which is blockchain 3.0. So this also maybe you should know to see where cryptocurrency is needed. If you look at permissionless blockchains will be a cryptocurrency based blockchain. Permissioned blockchains need not have a cryptocurrency. Okay, we will come back to this later. Why is that? Okay. So now let's quickly, that was a refresh, though some of you might know those things already. Just wanted to confirm certain things, so I repeated it. So now let's try to understand from what we know. What is cryptocurrency? To better understand what is a cryptocurrency, you should first know what is currency. To understand how a cryptocurrency is mined, how a cryptocurrency is created, how the cryptocurrency is traded, you should first know how it is done in a normal way. If you know all these things, then there is only a few differences between a traditional currency and a cryptocurrency. A traditional token and a crypto token. A traditional asset and a crypto asset. Okay. So what do you see? Can some of you tell? Quickly unmute your mic and tell. What is that you see?
Currency, sir.
The currency used by different countries.
Not different countries, all India only. This is 2 rupee, of course, yeah. This is a 1,000 rupee coin released in 2010. This is a token that is used for the telephone booth. In case if you all know, we had a telephone booth, right? 1 rupee coin. Similarly, there were specific company phones where you have to use this token to talk, right? So these are currency, right? This is the problem here is there is no clear-cut definition of what is a currency also, right? Even if you take any this thing, there is no clear definition or clear usage. We use currency, whereas in America they use bill, the word bill they use. So this is currency, or we can tell it as money, right? All of these things as a value, but the value comes from different sources. The value comes because of different reasons. If you understand that, it is exactly the same for your cryptocurrency, crypto tokens, right? This is a 2 rupee bank note. Okay, we will call it as a bank note. Okay. This does not have any value, right? Because in India, you will have this word, I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 2 rupees. I promise to bear the bearer the sum of 50 rupees, right? So it does not have a value, but the value is guaranteed by Reserve Bank of India. You can see here Manmohan Singh's signature. You take the present day note, the present RBI governor would have signed it, right? This is a paper. It does not have a value. Tomorrow, if someone switch on the mic and tell, we are demonetizing that, it is just a paper. It does not have a value. But whereas a coin is not that. A coin has a value by itself because it is made of some metal. Maybe if it is a gold coin, by it itself has a value. If it is a silver coin, it has a value. If it is a bronze, it has a value. You just need to melt that coin, right? So this is one thing. That is why you see, since this is having a value of its own, this is issued by Government of India. This is not having any value. That is why this is issued by the central bank, which is Reserve Bank of India. You see, in 1 rupee, there is no, in coin, no one signs. In coin, it is only Government of India. Whereas in note, you will only see Reserve Bank of India. You will not see Government of India. And it is signed because this is getting a value because someone tells that it has this value. This on its own has some value. Okay, so exactly this is one thing you should understand. This is one part. Next, this is valid only within India, right? Agree? But you take this token. Let us consider our own example. Like you have 50 rupees. You go to your college canteen. You give this 50 rupees and buy 2 samosa. Maybe your college canteen, they might give you a yellow color token which means it is 2 samosas. But whereas in a different college, for 2 samosas, it could be a green color token. But still it is 50 rupees only. In your college, the green color token is 50 rupees, which is worth for 2 samosas. Whereas in other college, it is yellow color token that is worth for 2 samosas, which is again a 50 rupee. But the representation is different, right? So that is what is token. Token also has a value, but the value is not same everywhere. The value is defined within the application, right? Whether that is 2 samosas depends on which college canteen you are in, right? So similarly, crypto tokens has a particular value based on the application. Okay. So this is important. You understand how these things work. It is very important to understand. Okay. Now, with this, slowly let us understand how this is getting transacted. What was the problem there? Why was a cryptocurrency needed, or why was a blockchain needed? If you can understand that, then I think we are done. So for that, you should understand certain things. One is currency, which we normally call it as money, right? Money is nothing but a store of a value. Money stores a value. Like for example, until 2016, November, we had a 500 rupees note, right? It had a value. It had a store of value. But now it is just a paper. It does not storing any value. So money is nothing but it should store a value. Second, it should be used as a medium of exchange. Of course, we use the money as a medium of exchange, right? And in money, there are 2 monies, right? 2 types or 2 forms. One is fiat money, which is nothing but it does not have any value, but it is guaranteed by the government, which is nothing but the bank note or the bill, where they tell this is equal to this. So this is called fiat money. So 2 rupees is nothing but, or any bank note is nothing but, that is issued by a central bank, Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of Pakistan. All such things, no, all such money are fiat currencies or fiat money. Commodity money is nothing but the value comes from the commodity it is made of. Maybe it is a gold coin, a silver coin, a bronze, or take your laptop. Laptop is a commodity and it has a value, right? You tell my laptop is 2 lakh rupees, right? It has a value, and the value comes from the commodities or the parts it is made of. So second is commodity money. The value comes from the commodity it is made of. So these are the 2 types of money. Okay, please remember this. We will come back to this later as well. Now, if you look at the traditional system, the banking system, initially we were using the cash transactions, but those days the number of transactions itself was less. The geography of the transaction was less. The value of transaction also was less. Once these started increasing, the money, I want to send it from Coimbatore to somewhere to Agartala, then I need some intermediary, because I myself cannot travel always to a particular place, right? So I need some intermediaries. There comes bank, right? And once bank comes, they started creating new mechanisms, right? You can issue a check, you can issue a demand draft. This is Indian, not this is Indian postal order, which is like money order, right? So such systems were issued, but all these things were physical. But these were through intermediary forms. Then comes digital. Currently, we are using IMPS, RTGS, NEFT, net banking, SMS banking, mobile banking, UPI, Paytm, all such things, right? But all these things are acting as an intermediary, and some of these intermediaries charge you for that, right? If you do an IMPS transaction for this particular range, this is the commission. Even for DD, this particular amount to this particular amount, a commission is charged, right? So if you look at a bank normally charges you some money. Why? A bank charges you money for 2 things, or the intermediary charges you money for 2 things. One is they store all your data. How much is your balance is known to you and to the bank. What is the balance of Venkat is known only to Venkat and to the bank. What is the balance of Akshaya is known only to Akshaya and to the bank. They store. So storage cost is there. Secondly, whenever you do a transaction, they do a checking. For example, if I do a transaction to Dr. Prakash, okay, so I am sending 200 rupees. Bank will check whether am I sending it to a correct, legitimate address. One. Second, am I having the enough balance? I should not be able to send 200 when my balance is 50 rupees. So they will do these checking. So for these computation and processing, again, they are using their resources for which they charge. So this storage and the computation charge is what they are collecting is at a commission or other charges, right? Quarterly SMS charge. Such charges they collect for the work they do, computation work they do, and the storage work they do, right? At times you are not satisfactory with that thing. So this is one major problem in the traditional system. The banks might charge more, which you are not happy. And there is no second option for you because maybe in that area you have only that bank. So there is no option. You can go for an alternative bank. So this is one problem. Okay. Next. The next problem is ledger. Okay. When it comes to ledger, normally you take a ledger, no, or you take your bank passbook. Normally what you do a date. You do a description telling that I have transferred 200 rupees from my account to Dr. Prakash's account. I have sent 200 rupees. My remaining balance is 500 rupees, something like that. To ensure that this transaction is a valid transaction or not, only my passbook alone is not sufficient. I also need Dr. Prakash's passbook. Why? Because I can even do a fake entry telling that to Prakash 200. Only in this passbook, if there is an entry of credit, then there is an actual transaction that has happened. So in the traditional ledgering, which is two-way ledgering or two-way accounting, the auditing is difficult because you need multiple ledgers or you need multiple records to verify the legitimacy of the transaction. This was the second challenge. What is the third challenge? In digital transaction, there is a chance that a single money, if you're doing a transaction in your UPI or some banking digital transaction, not Bitcoin, but in your normal digital transaction, there is a chance that that money can be spent twice. 150 rupee can be used twice. So if I want to give an example in a simple way, just for your understanding, you say I have 50 rupees in my pocket. Okay, I have 50 rupees in my wallet or pocket. There are two of my friends, one person is available now, so I'm telling him, can you get me two coffees, something like that. I'm telling. He knows that I am having money with me. So what he will do, he will go and he will go get that coffee and come, thinking that once he gives me the coffee, I will give him the money. Once he goes, my friend is coming. I'm telling him, can you get me two samosas? This guy also know that I have 50 rupee. He will think, okay, let me get samosa, and once I give the samosa, I will get the 50 rupee. Now, just because my transaction with my friend one, to whom I have told to buy coffee, is not visible to others, I will be able to spend the same money one more time for the samosa. For 150 rupee, I bought two coffees and two samosas. It is just because this transaction, until it is completed, is not visible to other stakeholders. So this problem in a digital transaction is called double spending. Now assume that if both of these people were together, if I have told this, get two coffees, when the other person was there, when I told the second person to get me samosa, you would have told no, because you have already ordered a coffee, then how will you give money, you would have asked. So this is the third problem. One is this double spending. Next is the need for multiple ledgers. Third one is high transaction fee and a single point of control. All these problems made someone think that, yeah, we should have some system where all these things should be broken. There should be no single authority, no one single SBI or an HDFC or an Axis Bank or whatsoever. They should not control us. We should form our own network The sender and the receiver should themselves form a network, and they should be able to transact within themselves. And based on the computation they do, let them decide the transaction fee on the computation effort put in basis, not a constant fee. So such a thought gave rise to something called as Bitcoin, which was based on a system called blockchain. Okay, so these are the three problems. Now let us see what are the three important things that you should need to build a blockchain, or even to say to implement a blockchain or to implement a cryptocurrency based on blockchain. You should know cryptographic hash, because as I told, one block and other block is getting linked to each other only by this cryptographic hash value. So you should know what is a cryptographic hash, what are the different cryptographic hashing algorithm that exist, and what are the properties of those cryptographic hash. One, you need not know how to construct a cryptographic hashing algorithm, but you should know the properties of the hashing algorithm. Next, you should know public key cryptography. You should know what is an encryption and decryption. You should know how a digital signature works, what is an integrity. So all such things you should know. The third important thing is you should know how a distributed network works, what are the different types of fault that can come in a distributed computing, and how consensus work, and what are the different types of consensus that is available, and which is more suitable for your application or the type of blockchain that you are trying to create. Okay. So these are the, in general, not just for cryptocurrency, be it any blockchain, these are the three things based on which the current blockchains are created, or even in future if you are creating a new blockchain. These are the three important things that you should know. Now, let us see the analogy between the currency and the cryptocurrency. So what is a cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is nothing but, one is, yes, it is a digital virtual asset. There is no physically, you cannot feel a Bitcoin. There is no printed or minted form of Bitcoin, though it is available for sale in Amazon and Flipkart. Those does not have any value. Cryptocurrencies are virtual and digital assets. They do not have any physical form like our traditional fiat currencies or minted coins. This is one thing. You should very clearly understand it is virtual and digital. Next, since it is again representing the digital version of the currency, the definition of the currency should hold good here. That is, the cryptocurrency should also be used as a medium of exchange. But is it like that? That is a debatable topic. People currently use Bitcoin. You can see my screen. This is the value as on today 12 o'clock, 12:30, I think. Today 12:30. This was the rate. One Bitcoin was 14 lakhs. Last week it was 12 lakhs. Last 1.5 weeks back it was 12 lakhs. So now it is 14 lakhs. So who will sell this? No one is going to pay college fees using Bitcoin. No one is going to buy tomatoes, tomato sauce using a Bitcoin. Why? It is not taking the form of, though it is currency or it is coin, it is not being used as a medium of exchange as it is supposed to be. It is used like an asset, like a gold. Let us buy gold and keep it. After so many years, the worth will be doubled or tripled. So in that intention, people are buying Bitcoin, and it is kept as an asset, as a safety reserve. It is not being used for much trading, except currently for a lot of illegal purpose people are using. Like if there is a ransomware attack, you have to pay your ransom as Bitcoin, and in dark web to buy all the drugs, weapon, pornography video, data that was leaked during a data breach. All such things are traded or paid using Bitcoin. But it is not the only place. Legitimately also they are using it. But since the awareness is not there and the need is not there, it is used only for such purpose. So currently, it is ideally supposed to be used as a medium of exchange, but it is not currently because of the huge market value. The third, it is based on strong cryptography. If you look at even today, no, all of us are transferring our money digitally, right? Like I want to send 50 rupees, I can send it from my Google Pay to your Google Pay, or from my Paytm account to your Paytm account, right? Here the transaction is not digital. I am not giving 50 rupees in physical form. It is a digital transaction only. The one important thing you have to notice, there the transaction is secured using cryptography. When you transfer 500 rupees, the communication is encrypted. Okay, the communication is signed using your private key or the bank's or the bill desk's private key. The communication is secured using cryptography. So that is normal currency. Your traditional currency is available in digital form. So that you can call it as even digital currency. So how digital currency and cryptocurrency is differing is, digital currency could be only in virtual form, or it could be a digital representation of a physical currency. But only cryptography comes only during the communication. But whereas in cryptocurrency, even for creating the currency itself, you need cryptography. The currency itself is created, that it's maintained, it is accounted, all using cryptographic algorithm, not just the communication. So that's the difference between a normal digital currency and a cryptocurrency. The creation, the maintenance, the storage, accounting, everything in addition to the communication is based on strong cryptography. Examples are Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin. Okay. And as I told, Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that was based on blockchain. Or some people, if you're looking from blockchain point of view, Bitcoin gave us blockchain. No one know that blockchain already, and they used blockchain to create Bitcoin. Someone wanted to create a cryptocurrency to break high charge by banks, the ledger problem, the centralized problem, the double spending problem. So he created a solution and he named that as a Bitcoin. Thoughtfully or unknowingly, the underlying technology was so powerful, and that today we are calling it as blockchain. So it is only your way of looking at it. Okay. So now, just like any programming language, we say, like, if you know C or C++, you'll be able to learn any other programming language. To understand blockchain or to understand what is a cryptocurrency, you should know what is Bitcoin. You should know why Bitcoin is created. Then you will understand how blockchain will work, how a cryptocurrency will work also. So it is very important you know what is Bitcoin. And these are all some stories. I think most of you might know. Okay, this is the name of the person who created the Bitcoin, and this person is not known who exactly, only the name is known. And this is the white paper name in which this was published. I would request all of you to read this paper, though you may not understand it completely, the first read. And Bitcoin uses. I told there are three important things, right, for building a blockchain. One is the hashing algorithm. Next is the public key cryptography. Third one is the consensus. Okay. Bitcoin is using SHA-256 hashing algorithm, and it is using a new consensus algorithm called proof of work. New by which I mean in 2009 it was new. There was nothing before actually was proof of work. There was nothing exactly like this, but similar works were already there. So, but one additional point is it is using CPU based proof of work. Mostly you will see only proof of work, but to be very exact, Bitcoin is using CPU based proof of work consensus algorithm. Okay. And here both the underlying blockchain and the cryptocurrency is called Bitcoin. Okay, kindly note the underlying blockchain, which means the database, and the cryptocurrency, both are called Bitcoin. Now, to understand certain things about Bitcoin, the differences, like how we do know, if you actually want to understand how different Bitcoin system exists. Since Bitcoin came, right, in 2010, there is a famous transaction called pizza transaction. Okay, there a person bought two pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. 2010, two pizzas were bought for 10,000 Bitcoins. Today, one Bitcoin is 14 lakhs. I think you can buy one pizza shop itself, right? So that's the growth of Bitcoin. Just by looking at this new growth, lot of people forked Bitcoin or any blockchain is mostly open source, right? So you can go to GitHub, fork the Bitcoin code, create your own coin, Ram coin, Car coin, Save coin. You can create any coin. You just need to modify the code accordingly wherever you think you need some changes, and a new coin is there. So there are a lot of such cryptocurrencies that were created by forking the Bitcoin's code with some changes. For example, the one block size, each block in Bitcoin could be maximum of 1 MB. Okay. So some people thought, why not let us increase to 4 MB? So some people have done that and they created a different name. Some people thought 10 minutes is too long for a block creation. Let us change it. So they changed it and they create a different coin. Okay. So that's how people created new. They just forked the code of Bitcoin. They changed whatever changes they wanted to do. Some people didn't even change anything. They created their own coin. So thousands of such cryptocurrencies were created in the first few years, out of which only few survived, which had a genuine purpose and which had a genuine user base. So such coins are called as altcoins or alternate coins. So altcoins are nothing but cryptocurrencies that were created based on Bitcoin. Okay. This is one thing that you should know when we are talking about cryptocurrency. Next. There are two ways, right? In India, you take the currency note, you see, I promise to pay the bearer, right? And we cannot print notes as you want. But whereas America can print note as they want, because America issues it as a debt. It is issuing it as a debt. So similarly, in cryptocurrencies also, there are cryptocurrencies which have fixed capacity. For example, Bitcoin, there could be only 21 million Bitcoins that can never exist. That is a fixed limit in the code. You cannot change that. But whereas Ethereum, there is no such fixed limit. Okay, this is one way. How many coins can ever exist in circulation? In Bitcoin, it is fixed to 21 million. Total supply, that's all. The second is, there is no such upper limit. We will create as we want. This is one way. And this is exactly same of our traditional system. This is one type. Second is, whether it is pre-mined or it is created slowly. Pre-mined in the sense, all the coins, for example, you take X coins, all the X coins are created when they launch blockchain itself. And they will issue it whenever they want. So it is already created and issued when they want. But you take Bitcoin, each coin is created only when a new block is mined. Today you create a block in Bitcoin, you will get 6.25 new Bitcoins. Okay, so this value of 21 million, no, only in the year 2140 we will reach this count. This is exactly done to maintain the demand and supply. You see, in 2009, when the first block was mined, when one block was added, the new bitcoins that was generated is 50 bitcoins. 50 bitcoins. But you know then, in 2009, there could be only very few users who have been using Bitcoin. Maybe over 10 computers. So they should generate more coins so that they attract a lot of people. One. Second, only if the demand is more, they can attract a lot of people, and even then the value can increase also, because if they're creating 50 bitcoins, if it is known to 1,000 people, even if 100 people are interested to buy, but there are only 50 bitcoin, so the value will grow. So now the Bitcoin users have grown, but today whenever you create one new block, only 6.25 is created. Why? Because now the user base is more. And secondly, today also if they are creating 50 bitcoins for every block, no, then Bitcoin will not be 14 lakhs. It will be very less only. So to keep that value, market value increase, and to also increase the user base over a period of time, such a mechanism was followed by the creator. But other people, as I told, it is already created. They've already created the 21 million, but they will issue it whenever they want. But here it is created only when a new block is added into the blockchain. So these are the different ways in which the coins are created. They call it as pre-mined, or it is mined during the block addition. This is one, pre-mined or mined during the block creation. Second is fixed supply, and there is no fixed supply. So these are the two things that you should know regarding the supply of a cryptocurrency. The next thing is the subunits. If you take, you can transact 5 rupees 75 paise. But do you think can you transact such things on the cryptocurrencies? Yes, it is possible, but it is not exactly the same way as we think, because in our normal currency there is no upper limit for the decimal, right? Some people nowadays, we don't even consider the decimal, right? You go buy a shoe for, or you buy, even go to a small petty shop, buy a chocolate for few rupees, and if that comes to a total of 100 rupee 25 paise, no, either you will not give the 25 paise to the shop, or that guy will not return you the remaining 75 paise. They will ignore it. Why? Because that is not considered as a value itself. So similarly, here also the subunits, each cryptocurrency has a fixed subunit. So for example, if you look at Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is 10 to the power of -8 satoshis. So just like how we have rupee and paise, here Bitcoin is like rupee, and the satoshi is nothing but like a paise. But it is very big, 10 to the power of 8. Okay, so 10 to the power of 8 satoshis is one Bitcoin, or one, this is okay. And the satoshi is named after that founder of the, or the inventor of the Bitcoin. Okay, so these are the two things. One is the supply we saw, next is the subunit. Now, to understand these remaining three parameters, we have to understand the consensus. Okay. Okay, so we will quickly do that. Okay, what is this proof of work? Proof of work is the consensus algorithm that is used in Bitcoin. And there are different consensus algorithms that are created based on proof of work, or that were created, cryptocurrencies that were created based on Bitcoin. Okay. So now let us take all of us, 50 people who are part of this webinar are all fed up with a particular X bank. So we decided that, okay, hereafter we are not going to depend on that bank. we are going to create our own currency transaction system. Okay, so all of us have created, but I know only 2 or 3 people from this group, and similarly all other people know only 3-4 people, 5, not all the 50 people. So we only know few people. Okay, so the challenge in such a distributed network is that all of us need not know all the participants. Okay, so the consensus algorithm that you use should ensure the trust. If someone is telling yes, we can agree this transaction, we should be sure that that person is telling genuinely, his result or his processing or his computation is not malicious or not wrong. Okay, so what Bitcoin does it, if someone is telling that this transaction is okay, they should give a proof. Okay, that is why this is called proof of work. You do a computation and you tell that yes, I have done this computation, so you give the proof. Okay, so this is one thing. This is for 2 reasons. One is to ensure that there is a trust, because this is an asynchronous network. Each of us can behave in any way. Each of us can join the network anytime, can leave the network anytime. So there should be a decision that has to be arrived for each transaction that is done. Second, this work should also be costly such that no one spam the network. Otherwise, no, I will not do any transaction, but unwantedly I might be sending some fake transactions. So to avoid that, what should I do? Or I can create a fake block, a dummy block, and I can send it to everyone so that everyone will keep on adding that block to their blockchain, and that entire blockchain will be totally a dummy blockchain. So we should also prevent people from spamming the network, and the block that they should give should contain the proof that they have worked. So what this Bitcoin person did was, he took a work, the computation work, each node doing should be very complex. It should be totally complex. It should be computationally very challenging, but the verification should be super easy. Okay, so this was the thing he decided. The work should be very hard to compute, but if someone gives me that, telling that, hey, I validated this block, can you check if he's broadcasting to all other nodes? The verifier should verify it easily. Okay, this is the type of work. So what normally happens is, now when I do a transaction, let us correlate with our traditional transaction. Let us say now I am sending 2 Bitcoins to Dr. Prakash. Instead of 50, 200 rupees, 2 Bitcoins I am sending. What normally bank will do, they will check whether I am sending it to a correct address or not. Now what everyone will do, all the 50 nodes or all the nodes to whomever this transaction has reached will check whether the receiving address is a correct address. In normal banking, we use the word account. Here we use the word address. Okay, or we can also use the word account. But that is the relation. So this is now done by whichever node has received this transaction. They will check whether this is a correct address or not. Next, what the bank was doing, they will check whether Ramaguru is having enough balance to do this transaction. But in the traditional system, only the bank can do, because they had all the accounting. Now in blockchain, since it's a distributed system, all 50 people will have the record in your blockchain. So now what all of you can do, you can do the checking whether I am having 2 Bitcoins to do this transaction. If the account is valid, and if I am having 2 Bitcoins to do the transaction, what you can do, you can tell that transaction is valid. And at a given point of time, there could be many such transactions that is happening. I could send it to Dr. Prakash, some A can send it to B, some Vignesh can send it to Vishnu, some Ramya can send it to Akalya. There can be such transaction. What Bitcoin does is, it waits for 10 minutes. Okay, it waits for 10 minutes, and all these transactions that are approved, or all these transactions that are accepted as valid, are available in a memory pool. Okay, From this memory pool, after this 10 minutes, each people, because each one are computationally good. So what each people will do is, they will take a transaction after this 10 minutes and they will create a block. What is the condition? The block size should not be greater than 1 MB. That is the condition. Okay. Now, when they do this, all the information is known to them. Okay. They know all the transaction. Fine. They know what is the previous hash, because they already have the blockchain in their own computer. They can get the hash of the last block. They know what is the timestamp, what is the current time in which they are creating the block. So all this information is known. Okay. So now what is this puzzle, or what is this hard work that they are going to do? In Bitcoin, there is something called as difficulty. Okay. So this difficulty will tell you that, hey, person who are creating the block, please understand this is the difficulty. So what we have to do is, we have to put a random value. There are values, many values, timestamp, all such values there. You should add one more value, which is a random value. After adding that random value, you should calculate the hash of that block. When you calculate the hash value, that hash value should have one minute. Sorry. So when you're calculating the hash value, you should be so when you're calculating the hash value, what you normally do is, you put that random value, you calculate the hash value. The hash value should have these many zeros at the front. Let us say if the hash value is 256 bits, the first 18 bits has to be, first 18 digit has to be 0, like that. So that is the challenge, because hash value, there is no deterministic method to calculate the hash value. There are only probabilistic method, because if you know the properties of hash value, even a small change in the input will drastically change the output, right? So just because you put 599 as the random value, if you are getting 16 zeros, you put 700, you will not get 18 zeros. It will be totally different. So what you have to do? You have to only do trial and error. You have to put a random value, calculate the hash value, see if it is matching the difficulty level. No. Retry until you find the hash value that is matching the difficulty level. So this is computationally very, very hard. Once you find that, what you do? You give it to the other nodes. And the verification is very easy. Why? Because the other person already has all the value. Timestamp, number of record, all these things. And you have also told this is the nonce value I found. So you will just need, what you just need to do, you just need to recalculate the hash value, which will take only few seconds. But for you to find that nonce, no, you have to do a lot of trial and error. So this is the puzzle in Bitcoin. You have to find a nonce value, which is a random number that satisfies the difficulty level set by the Bitcoin network. And the difficulty is nothing but how many zeros should be there in the front, in the resulting hash value. And that keeps on increasing day by day. The difficulty that was there in 2009 is different from what it is today. And the finding this is very, very hard, but the verification is very, very easy. Now you think, who is going to put in so much effort to create a fake block? So no one is going to send a spam block. No one is going to send a dummy block without any valid transaction. Why? Because he has put in a lot of such effort to calculate the hash value, which is going to charge, which is going to cost him. Why? For that, he has to pay a lot of electricity bill. Okay. So he is not going to create a dummy block unnecessarily, unless and until he is purposefully going to do that. But even if he do that, still it will take him 10 minutes. So this is what is called as proof of work, which is helping other nodes to know which node has finished the work first. And whoever has done this first, that particular block will be added into the blockchain, and that particular node is called miner. The reason why they are calling that node as miner is when this particular block got added into the blockchain, new cryptocurrency is generated. New 6.25 bitcoins are created as a reward for his hard work. Got it? So this is the reason why you are getting 6.25. Why? Because I am doing transaction to Dr. Prakash. Okay. Now, why should some X system store my block? Why should they validate my transaction? So now this reward, that is like the transaction fee that you pay to the bank. So this will be given to the node which validated my transaction, which created that block by spending that computational effort. And this it will be given in addition to the transaction fee that we pay. So these are the other explanation for the three terms. The block creation time in Bitcoin is 10 minutes and the maximum size of the block can be 1 MB, and the reward is now becoming reduced for every 4 years. Okay. Till May 2020, May 2020 it was 12. Now 12.5. Now it has got reduced to 6.25. Next in May 21, 2024 only, I think it will get reduced to 3.125. Okay. So this is one thing. Now, other important concept is, just like how you store your money in a wallet, all these cryptocurrencies and crypto assets, be it Bitcoin or be it Litecoin or be it Ether, all these things are stored either in a software device or in a hardware device called wallet. So wallet is nothing but a device. It could be a pen drive kind of thing where you store the private key, or it could be a program or a service that stores your private key. Here, if you take the blockchain is not, or your cryptocurrency is not available in your computer. The cryptocurrency is available in the blockchain only. Why? Because cryptocurrency is not physical, right? There is only a record telling that Ramaguru have 5 Bitcoin. That's all. Your wallet does not have any Bitcoin. Your wallet only has a private key, which is matching to the address. Okay. So they are telling that account number 54 has 5 Bitcoin. That is there in the blockchain. No one can delete it. But to spend that money, you need the password. So you are having that password. So if you keep safe your password, you will be able to spend that money. So wallet is a service that stores your private key and public key so that you will be able to spend that money whenever you need it. But otherwise, cryptocurrency exists only in the blockchain. It is not in your wallet. Wallet only stores the private key. Till now, is it clear? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. So quickly, I also, since it's very big topic, there are so many things that we can talk about, but just quickly to give you some idea, I would also quickly touch upon few practical things so that later you can contact me. You want to know more. Okay. So quickly remaining next half an hour, let me show that. Okay. So yeah, I think you should be able to see my browser now, which is showing an online hash calculator.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yeah. So maybe I think all of you would know what is an hash thing, but just for giving the benefit of doubt, I will just explain it in a simple way. So you look at my name, Ramaguru. Okay, Ramaguru Radha Krishnan. So now calculate the hash value. As I told, there are different hash values. Okay. So there is an hashing family called MD, Message Digest. Okay, and there are a hashing family called SHA, Secure Hash Algorithm. Okay, and So there are so many, Ripe MD, Tiger, there are so many such. So these are the different hashing values for the value, one single value I gave. For one Ramaguru Radhakrishnan, these are the different hashing values. Just because the algorithm is different, the final output is different. One. Second, just because the length is different, for example, MD2 and till MD5, it is all 16 bytes. But whereas if you take SHA-256, it is 32. And SHA-512 is 64. So if you look at the length, will be very big. So this is one thing. Now, let us just take only SHA-256. Okay, I'm just going to copy this particular value. Okay. So I'm just going to paste it in my address bar for the sake of convenience. Okay. It is starting with 0DD and ending with 616. 0DD ending with 616. Also, maybe what I can do is also paste it in the chat. Okay. Now, only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put one space bar. Okay. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to put one space. And now recalculate the hash value. You can see, still you can see, I have not added anything. Just one space is extra, right? I'm just going below. The same SHA-256 I am copying. Okay. Look at the value. Is there any similarity you can find? You will not be able to find any similarity just for one space. Okay. So this is one big opportunity to use hashing algorithm for so many things, right? Hashing algorithm, as you know, is used as a checksum to check the integrity whenever you download any file, right? If you are downloaded any files before few years, no, you will see MD5 value that was given near the software you download. Nowadays, you will see SHA-256 value. So even if there is one bit change, the entire value will change. So this is called puzzle friendliness. Okay, one. Second, this effect is called avalanche effect. Okay, a small change in the input will drastically change the output. Such a phenomenon is called avalanche effect. So now, do you think is there any way? Now, do you think how the computer will find? Now I have to do something. I have to add something to Ramaguru such that the first 8 digit is 0. What will I do? There is no deterministic algorithm. What I can do? There are probabilistic algorithm. I have to use that algorithm, try based on my computation power. If my RAM is very fast, if I have a good GPU, good ASIC processors and all, then I can do it at a very faster rate. Then I will win. I will win that. So there is no single way you can do. You have to just do the trial and error. But when you want to verify, what you have to do, you have to give it to this algorithm and it will give you the value. You just need to check whatever value the person told he has found and whatever value you calculated is matching or not. Okay. So this is one important feature, not just for blockchain. Generally itself, cryptographic hash is sometimes referred to as modern workhorse of cryptography. Okay, so this link, maybe I'll share it with you. This hashing algorithm, maybe you know, in case you can use this particular link. Okay, one. Now, this screen is visible, a screen which shows blockchain. Yes?
Visible, sir.
Okay. So now let us see how it is working. So now, you see, this is the first block. First block in any blockchain is called Genesis block. You know Genesis, right? So Genesis block is the first block of any blockchain. Okay. And the previous hash is 0 because previously there is no block. So the previous hash value is 0. Okay. Now you do a transaction. Ramaguru Radhakrishnan transferring to Dr. Prakash 50 Bitcoin. That's all. This is what will be stored. Okay. Now when I do this transaction, all of you people will get a message telling that Ramaguru has initiated a transaction. What you will do? You will check whether there is a person called Dr. Prakash in our network. Okay. consider this as my address, consider this as Dr. Prakash's address. Okay, our identities are not revealed because Bitcoin does not reveal identity or any cryptocurrency or any blockchain unless it is permissioned. You cannot identify a person. Everything is a address which is hexadecimal, so you will not know who is who. This is one important thing. So this is nothing but my address, not my identity. You will not know this is Ramaguru. You will get some address. Again, you will get some other address. The only thing you will do is you will check whether such an address exists in our network. And you will check whether this address is having 50 BTC to do this transaction. Once that is done, what people will do? They will wait for the 10 minutes and collect all the transaction. For the sake of simplicity, let us keep only one transaction has happened in the 10 minutes. Now what all people will do? They will take this transaction, put it in the block. So this is the data. So now what they have to do is they have to put a random value and see this hash is matching the difficulty level. So it should match in such a way that it is having those many zeros at front. Okay. So what I have to do? The computer, the mining node, what it will do? It will try different hash values until this hash is matching the difficulty level, which is having a prescribed or a predefined number of zeros at front. Let us at least try when I get 1 0 at front. Okay, just for okay. When I put U3, I got 0. Let us consider, since this is the first block, my difficulty level is very simple. Only first digit should be 0. After trying it, okay, I achieved it. Let us keep. Okay. And it is all number. There is no alphabet. Just for creating it as 0 I put, but it is all number. Now assume that I have done it. Now what it will do? I have, once this is done, now when I click mine, what will happen? I have freeze that this is the nonce value that is giving me these many zeros. Can you see? I have put a nonce value which gave me 4 zeros. Okay. Now, if this was my difficulty level, since this is the first block, the difficulty was very easy. Only first four characters has to be 0. I succeeded in it. Okay. Now what I will do? I will send it to all other people. What all other people will do? They will just take all these values and compute the hash value. So they can verify it easily. If they feel that it is correct, they will add it into their blockchain. Now, after next 10 minutes, what is happening? Some A is sending some transaction to some B. Okay. He is sending 3 bitcoins. Okay. Now this is again happening. Now can you see the hash value of the previous block? Can you see here? Now someone mines this also. And as shown here, the mining can take a different time. Okay. Now, so similarly, quickly, let us see different transactions happening and the mining is happening. Okay. So you can go as long as you want. So this is how normally mining is done. Mining is nothing but, or the proof of is nothing work. You have to find a nonce value that matches the predefined 0 of the resulting hash value. This is one important thing. And once that is verified, all other people will add that. Okay. One other thing which I wanted to show here is why it is immutable. Now say that all 50 of us have these 3 blocks in all our computer. Why? Because it is a distributed. No, all of us have broadcasted it. Now, one person or 2 or 3 persons from their computer, they want to manipulate this. Say A or B, being malicious, they want to say this 2 is not 2. They want to say it as 20. Before that note, hash, this will be same. This is nothing but hash of this block. Okay. Previous hash is nothing but hash of the previous block. Now one guy is tampering that in his computer. Can you see? Both blocks became invalid. Why? Because when 0 changes, what will happen? Think of the previous example. When I added one space value, what happened? Hash value changed. So when I put 20, this hash value will change. And when this hash value is changed, since it is linked here, this will also change. And since this is part of computing this will also change. So if you tamper something, what will happen? All other blocks after that will get invalid. So this is, and remember, you have done that only in your computer. If you want to successfully do that in other computer, you have to again go through the consensus, which is very, very difficult. So that is why we say blockchain is immutable. Even the creator cannot modify. They can only add it. They cannot edit or delete it. Is this example also clear? I will share this link. You can just play with that. Is this clear? One of you? Any one of you? Yes. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, one other important thing is there is something called. 1 minute. I'll. I think now you should be able to see my entire screen. And so whatever you are seeing now is nothing but Bitcoin. A core is nothing but Bitcoin's official wallet. Bitcoin core is nothing but Bitcoin's official wallet. Say you have SBI Uno app, right? Which is SBI's official app. But to access your SBI account, you can even still use your PhonePe, Paytm, Google Pay. So similarly, there are third-party wallets for Bitcoin, but there are official this thing also. This is sold good for any other cryptocurrency. Each cryptocurrency provider have their own wallet. They also have other wallets by third party. Okay. So, and now this is running in testnet mode. Okay. So in blockchain or in any cryptocurrency, there are two nets. One is mainnet and another is testnet. Okay. So if you look at, this is my blog. If you look at mainnet, so mainnet is nothing but the production network where the cryptocurrency has a value. For example, one Bitcoin is 14 lakh rupees, right? And you do a transaction, you have to pay a transaction fee. But whereas a testnet is nothing but a development playground where you can understand the particular blockchain, or you can understand a particular feature or the cryptocurrency where there is no economic value. So this is just like your playground. So mainnet is the production place where everything has a impact. It has, everything is real, everything has an economical value. Whereas testnet is not real, it is real, it does not have any economical value. Okay, so I am now running Bitcoin core in testnet mode. Okay, so don't think that, okay, sir is having 0.01, which is 12,000 rupees or 14,000 rupees worth of Bitcoin. I don't have it. It's all dummy. It does not have any value. I cannot go to any exchange and exchange it. Okay. So this is a dummy value. Okay. And now if you see here, in case if you can see here, I am connected to 10 computers. Okay. I am connected to 10 other Bitcoin network nodes. Okay. So that I can see here. If I click this, I'll get disconnected from the Bitcoin network. Okay. This is one thing, and it will take some time. Now, if you see one, I have connected to one Bitcoin network. So now what I'll do, whenever I do a transaction, I publish this to those people and it get broadcasted. So there is, now it is 6. Okay. So now, and again, just like this test network, you should get money from somewhere. Now there is something called as faucet. Okay, faucet is nothing but a service which will provide you few cryptocurrencies for you to play with. Okay, so you just need to contact this faucet. You give your address, they will give you some money, just like a dummy money, where you can transfer between yourself and understand how things work. Okay, so now let us try to receive this. I'll send you this link also in that chat. So this is Bitcoin faucet. Now if I go to my Bitcoin, I have to receive. Okay. Normally this is exactly similar. Normally when you want to receive money, what do? You tell your friend your account number with IFSC code, or you tell your mobile number in case if it is Paytm or Google Pay, or if it is UPI, you will tell your UPI ID. So similarly, if now I want to receive my money, what I have to do? I have to tell an address. Okay. So this is my wallet address. Okay. So this is my wallet address. This is my Bitcoin wallet address. Now, as I told, now as I told, you will not be able to find anyone by this address because the address is anonymous. Okay. So now I'm going to give this address here. Okay. And I'm just going to solve this CAPTCHA, which is I think 5 into 2 is 10. So now I'm just going to send. I'm just requesting money from that faucet, telling me, can you give me this particular money to this particular account? Okay. And since this is faucet, I cannot receive 1 Bitcoin and all. I can receive only in few Satoshis. Now can you see? The transaction is sent. So this is the transaction ID, and this was sent to the address that I have given, that Ramaguru has given. And this is the money that gave me, which they gave me 0.001 Bitcoin. Okay. Now can you see a notification telling that 1 incoming transaction? They have sent a transaction. Now this has come to me. Now if you see transaction, 1 incoming transaction, can you see? But it is still not confirmed. If I double click it, can you see? This transaction is not confirmed. It is just in memory pool. But you can see everything. This is the amount that was sent. This was sent to my address. This is the transaction ID. The transaction size is 245 bits. So all these things you see. Okay. And this transaction memory pool. So it will take that time for it to complete. Okay. But it may not take 10 minutes as in a main network. It will be less. And if I want to see more information about this Bitcoin, right? There is something called Explorer. Okay. Just like our passbook, you can go to this Bitcoin Explorer. You will be able to see, you give the transaction ID, anyone will be able to see what is the transaction. Can you see? This is the address I gave, and the money that was sent to me is 0.001 Bitcoin. And this is still not confirmed. But you will also see one more transaction. That is 2 out of this scope of this webinar. But from this is the address, I think maybe the address of this faucet. From there to my address, I have received this money. And still this is not confirmed. This is not confirmed. That is why you see the status is not confirmed. But at the time you see 8/12 3/24, and the transaction is now in memory pool. So after the 10 minutes only it will take. So I am giving this link. After few, maybe after this webinar, maybe today evening, you can check this link. You can see that is confirmed and it is included as part of some particular block. Okay. So now, yeah, so this, I'll give you this link as well. If you are interested to try some hands-on, please read this article. You will be able to install Bitcoin Core Wallet and Electrum Wallet, and you will be able to download. Everything is given in detail, so you'll be able to download and install, and it is much simpler. You can understand what are the different types of wallets also, which is explained in a very simple word. and you will be able to install, and you will be able to try what I did and showed it to you. Okay, so you'll be able to do a transaction to yourself, and you will be able to see. And yeah, so coming back to this PPT, so similar to Bitcoin, we have something called as Ethereum, which is second generation. Here, if you look, Ethereum is the name of the blockchain. Ether is the name of the cryptocurrency. Okay, Ether is the name of the cryptocurrency. And this we will look more when we see the hands-on session with Ethereum. I'll look more onto this. And now one big problem as such is there is no standard. There is no standard as such for Bitcoin or any, like for example, there is no standard as such in common. There is no one standard for blockchain, right? Bitcoin initially came, they are open source, and their community came up with a standard called Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. So any changes to their features or the issues or the improvements is handled via this Bitcoin Improvement Proposal, which is within Bitcoin community. And later when Ethereum came, they followed the steps of Bitcoin. So they created an Ethereum Improvement Proposal, which is within the Ethereum community. Okay, and some standards they are issuing it as Ethereum request for comment, similar to Internet Engineering Task Force have RFCs. Ethereum just followed their steps and created Ethereum request for comments. But these are all very specific within the community. BIP is within the community. EIP is within the Ethereum community. These two are within the Ethereum community. There was one particular standard called hierarchical deterministic wallet, okay, which is a Bitcoin proposal, but that is adapted by Ethereum as well, and that is adapted by most of the wallet providers as well. But it is the opinion, or it is in the decision of the other person to accept it or not. So there is no common standard, which is one big challenge. But thank God, at least recently in July 30, I think, July 30, 2020, at least for the vocabulary, at least for the terminologies, they created their own or standard, which is an ISO standard. Again, not all people follow ISO standard. Different organizations don't accept ISOs as well. But at least ISO have taken effort from 2017, and they started working on standardizing blockchain and DLT. As a first step, I think they have put in this standard. So you can Google this and read more on this particular terminologies. And if you look as on today, this is as on today morning status. These are the top 6 cryptocurrencies. Okay, Bitcoin. This is the price as on today. Just see the difference between the price of the first currency and the price of the second one. 19,205 USD. Second market cap is Ethereum, 593 only. Okay, look at second and third. It is not even one, right? So these are the different cryptocurrencies. And this Bitcoin Cash is nothing but it was forked from Bitcoin. That is why you have the same logo. Can you see same logo? Just the color is different. It is BTC, it is BCH. So it is Bitcoin, it is Bitcoin Cash. This was forked from Bitcoin, but still it is in the top position. Litecoin is also forked from Bitcoin. Tether is nothing but similar to Ether only. That is why you see USDT, which is like USD equivalent of something like that. So like any other normal currency, for cryptocurrencies also we have this 3-letter or 4-letter short forms. So BTC is for Bitcoin, ETH is for Ethereum, XRP is for Ripple. XRP is a solution called Ripple, but Ripple is not completely a blockchain. So these are the top 6 things. The last slide is the legal status across the world. This is as on today. India, before March 2020, we were this orange color or yellow color. because we were not sure, or there was a ban even. March 2020, I think Supreme Court told, I think it's okay, you guys do whatever you want, something like that. They told, where I think we moved to green. So green means it's okay. This gray color is no data, red color is totally banned. This pink, this orange or yellow is something like, some here and there, some regulations are coming up. So this is the legal status. If you look at India, the problem, as I told, no, there is no standard or there is no clarity. As I told, quickly, last point I would like to add, that this one very important. See, there is no clear definition of what is a currency, right? All of us call it as cryptocurrency, right? But what is the name of the currency? Bitcoin. Currency is different, coin is different. Or is it different or is it same? There is no clarity. Even if you look at it from a literal point of view also, there could be some definition. But as per legally defined, there is no clarity. So you take India. If you take India, Reserve Bank of India is the central bank who hold the actual, legally, they are the statutory body to do anything with money, right? Since it is cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, RBI is telling that we are supposed to do that. Okay. But cryptocurrency, though the name is currency, but the behavior is like a stock market, right? You buy and keep Bitcoin today. Today it is 12,000 or 12 lakh. Day after tomorrow it is 14 lakh. After a few weeks it is totally different. So it is behaving like an asset, not like a coin or a currency. So if you look at from that perspective, then Stock Exchanges Board of India, which is the regulatory body for the stock, bond and other things, they are telling that no, we are the correct body to regulate the cryptocurrency, not RBI. And this is because there is an overlap of duty that is defined in RBI and SCBI, or the definition or the clarity on the term cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or how it is behaving is not clear. One. Second, governments which are working have not put in that effort to understand what actually it is and how actually it is behaving. Third is, there is a lack of existing laws, or they are not sure how to create a new laws on top of the existing law. So these are the major challenges that is stopping people from either legalizing or not legalizing. In India, at least, there have been 2 or 3 instances where I have told it is up to you. No one should do anything. Then finally they have told, okay, you guys can do. So this judgment has been changing for every 1 or 1.5, 2 years. Yeah, so this is the status, and I think it will take quite some time for people to understand cryptocurrency, for people to trust in cryptocurrency. But leaving out cryptocurrency, blockchain as an application has a lot of scope than cryptocurrency. Personally, my opinion is I don't know whether cryptocurrency is going to be there, at least in India, after some time, because we are still not that digitally as we claim as digital India. But blockchain may be a good scope, and it has a lot of opportunities, and it has a lot of scope in addressing a lot of challenges that we are facing in many domains. Cryptocurrency, we have to wait and see how the government of India and various state governments and legal bodies and the industries put in effort in creating awareness and in making it more suitable for adoption. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much. You guys can ask your questions. Any?
Sir?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, regarding proof of work and proof of stake, which is efficient for Bitcoin, sir?
Proof of stake is not Bitcoin.
No. Yeah, which one is efficient, sir, for using?
So, sir, there is no way you can tell like that. As I told, you cannot tell which is efficient. It depends upon what is that you wanted to do. Proof of work is efficient. Yes, proof of work is not. Proof of work is efficient, but is it useful in any way? No. Computation, it is very hard. One. Secondly, instead of, some people have told, there is something called as useful proof of work. So instead of calculating a random nonce, what people are doing is they are trying to calculate a prime number.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So people there, they call it useful proof of work. So I am just calculating a random number, but let that number be a prime, so that at least I will check something. I will at least work in the race of finding the next prime number. So they are working on that. When you are putting in so much of computation effort, why it should be for some value that is not be of any useful? Some people, what they are trying to do is they are trying to do, for example, even during the COVID situation, no, people are trying to bring in the computation power of Bitcoin network to analyze the DNA, to analyze the structure of coronavirus, something like that, and all you would have seen in news. So people are telling that we can effortlessly use.
Yeah.
So if you look at the usage point of view, proof of work, yes, you could use it for something else. As an algorithm, it is doing its job, but it is creating a lot more unnecessary problem, and it could be used in a better, efficient way. If you compare proof of work and proof of stake, then it is a debatable problem, because there is a lot of contradiction that will come in. One is proof of work. The reason why you go for
attack is possible, sir. Maybe some malicious attack.
As of now,
your voice is breakdown, sir.
At least it should be possible. There are some attacks that have been reported in Bitcoin, but it is very less, and it is very. We need to see what kind of attack, and how it has happened. So there are attacks that are possible, but we will not be able to steal someone money, or we will not be able to, like, for example, you can completely lose your money. You forget your private key, you completely lose your money, but no other can use it.
Okay. That's why our RBI is not permitted to in India. I thought. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. Currently, we are not. Yes, because we are in a situation where we cannot remember, or we cannot understand. We cannot understand we cannot remember a 4-digit PIN, right? And how can you remember 56-bit private key? And that address, you will have so many addresses. So there are so many complications. So that is one way of looking at it. Second is, it is only the awareness. For example, you see what Paytm has done. Even a street vendor is using a Paytm QR code. But the street vendor does not know how a QR code works. He only knows how to use that application. So if as an academy person, if as an industry person, if you are able to simplify things and you can give it as an application to the user, then they can use it conveniently.
And sir, who decide that one Bitcoin value is like that equal to? So which committee this decided, sir? I mean, which country it's?
It is not. It is based on the demand only. There is no country, or there is no group, or there is no. Anyone actually deciding based on the demand. People see, for example, to be very frank with you, like to all of you, if you take the intention in which Bitcoin or blockchain came was, it should be not controlled by anyone, right? It should not be controlled by anyone. That's the reason why people came in Bitcoin. But if you even if you take proof of stake, what is proof of stake? The person, whoever is having more money, will decide which block to add. That is again that is again centralization, right? Today, if I am having 30 Bitcoin, I will be the person who will add I will have the power to add the next block. And since I am having power to add the next block, I will get that reward. And I will get more money. So this is like the rich will get richer, poor will get poorer only. Poor. So proof of stake is not a solution. Proof of stake is a solution after doing something.
But in other countries, they are very eager, no, sir. They collect some Bitcoins and to actually they contribute to Bitcoins, because in our India, how that real estate it's grown, you know, the same way in other countries, Bitcoin also is very grown, no, sir.
Yes, sir. Bitcoin
they get awareness.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So which countries get Bitcoin is it's growing, sir? It's mean which the people which get awareness more means which countries, sir? It's actually nowadays they can understand at least Bitcoin concept means. But
no, sir,
Singapore,
sir, India is more, sir. India, if you look at, you leave out the technicality. India, it is more. Like for example, in 2017, I remember one person. He is not educated. I'm not telling education gives knowledge. He is not educated, but he came to me and told there is a particular coin called coin. You have to invest this money to me, and you have to add 6 more people under your, just like some Amway multi-level marketing. They've started doing this. This I'm talking in 2017, and this person does not even have a basic school education, and he is talking so much technical thing about Bitcoin.
Okay.
A lot of awareness, but since we are not allowed for trading, we are not that much visibility is there. But even in India, there are so many people, there are so many services which is working like this MLM kind of thing. You have to invest this much cryptocurrency, so you have to add 8 people. But all those things will end up as a scam at a later point of time. So if you
it's a MLM, like only they will give some advertisement also, sir, in some social medias.
Yes.
They will some advertisement also.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice presentation. Thanks.
Smita, ma'am.
Sir, any project is going for NumChain for your NumChain?
Yes, sir. We are working on few things. Like currently, I have only 1 or 2 people supporting me, but we are planning to expand. More focus on research work only, sir. Morely focusing on research basis only.
Okay.
Sure. Any
other question from participants? Do participants have any questions? Okay, then we can wind up the session. And on behalf of Computer Science and Engineering Department, I would like to thank Ram Guru Radhakrishnan for having a wonderful session with a real-time as well as a good example. And with this same speaker, we'll be having the session by tomorrow. That is second session as well as the third session. And most probably tomorrow, the session, it may be the session, first session, it may be likely to have at 9:30 a.m. After confirming with a resource person, just I will communicate through WhatsApp. And the feedback link, it has been posted in the chat window, and all the participants to try to submit the feedback form, and we'll meet by tomorrow. And thank you, Ram Guru, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.